Alrighty. How's it going? Thanks, a couple friends here joining me. This might be a little bit of a quicker stream just for how I'm feeling and stuff, but I wanted to get the rest of this box on camera, on stream. So the background so far is I was debating whether or not I would open the box, and then I decided to open at least one pack last night, and I got that recorded, and I actually put it on a short, and that's where I opened this Vampiric Tutor. It's not a silver foil. But then, right before I went to bed last night, so a couple hours after that, I decided to open one more pack, and the second pack I was a little bit weaked, and I couldn't wait, and so I did get what I wanted. Sort of. I got a silver foil, which is gorgeous in that second pack. It's a braid, so it's not like, the lottery or anything. It's like $20, but it's still gorgeous. And what I've read online is that you can actually get a few silver foils per box. So we want to hit the upper limit. We want to get that 2 to 3, or that 3 that I've heard that you can get sort of every other pack. I don't know. I've heard that you can get about 3 per box. So still have 10 more packs left. And I'm just going to open those up and see if we can hit some cool things. A couple other things I got that were cool so far are, the Duty Beyond Death looks cool. It's not anything crazy value. Veil of Summer's I think $10 and pretty cool foil one. And then this Cauldron of Essence, I think's just going to go in one of my decks. Both of these are full art foils. Moment of Reckoning that are going to go in some of my commander decks. So, Jared, hey, watch on my 75-inch. Oh, well, it makes me a little self-conscious. Never thought about people watching me on the big screens, It is definitely goon type stuff. If Magic the Gathering did like this every single set, like they had like Japanese bonus cards, I would get a lot more cards. I would open a lot more and or buy more singles. Like I'm tempted to get all of the, not all in silver foil, but at least like one copy of all of them. But I'm trying to do less just like collecting for collecting's sake, and only getting things that like I'll use in decks, and it's been good. I definitely have a place for it in a braid though. So And Edokoba, hey, how's it going? And South Kaiser, thanks. I hope to get some silver foils too. Um, yeah, good luck to us all. 10 more packs, and we already are at 1 silver foil per 2 packs. If I could get 6 silver foils, that would be crazy. I think 3 or 4, I would feel good. I already feel like I got a bomb rare. This is like $130, $140, which it might go down because it's so new to the set. But $100 card is always awesome, and it's one of the best arts. It's so cool looking. It's definitely going in my Keurig, my CDH Keurig deck, which I sort of bling out with the coolest arts that I can. So, all right, with that, let's jump into it. See what we can do. Hey, going to Vegas again this year. I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to make it there, Ian. I hurt my back a week ago, and it's a lot better, but I'm just a little nervous because we're going to drive, and it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. So there is a chance I don't make it, but Kingdoms, some of the guys will be there for sure. I think my chance of making it right now is like 75-80%. So I hope to see you there because it's a blast. And it was great meeting you last time. I remember you won all of the Jumpstart cards, if I remember correctly. We did the Jumpstart event, and we might do that again if we can get a Jumpstart box in time. So, okay. All right, let's jump into it. I feel like I had something else to say. Oh, at MagicCon Vegas, we have these cool. If you see us, whether it's at our meet and greet, which is on Sunday, where are they? We have these cool Soul Ring promos. Well, this is a prototype, but it's not the actual one. I'll have to go grab one before the stream ends. But we have these Soul Ring token promos that we made that are pretty cool. But you are welcome to have. If you see us, we'll have a ton of them. All right, here we go. Secrets of Strixhaven. Pack number 10. Jessica's Will. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to just go through the commons. And shout out if you see, I don't know if there's any common that's like especially worth anything. Uncommons, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It's sort of this is where I feel like uncommons live nowadays, is they just pack in a lot of medium abilities, which sort of makes sense for an uncommon, but it's just like, all right, this is a 2-mana 1/1 menace. You gain life when it attacks and you can get it back. It's just like, all right, what's going on here? See, here's another uncommon. It's interesting because like a rare. Yeah, anyways, uncommons are weird nowadays in Magic. Okay, I should pull up the I thought I knew most of the cards, but let me pull up the list here so that we can see easily the Japanese cards, because I am learning a little bit of Japanese. I can read. Let's see if I can read any of this. Nope, that's all kanji. That is katakana. Shito to. No, that's not to. That's ta. No, can't do it. Not quite there. I know hiragana pretty well, but I'm still learning all the katakana better, and I know like 2 kanji. So, all right. Secrets of Strixhaven, and this one is a black card. At least I know the mana symbol. And Feed the Swarm. Okay. Feed the Swarm. I can have a place for that. Pretty sweet art, like all of them. Okay, this little dude, and he's being... It's like insects that are eating him because they're the swarm. Pretty cool. Okay, Return the Favor. Wow, that's actually a really fun... I feel bad for the English Mystical Archive, because in any other set, they would just be baller, and they are still really cool. But when you're compared to the Japanese, well, this is how it was with the original Strixhaven. I just was so in love with the Japanese that this might even go in my cube. Or definitely, the version I have right now is not that cool. All right, Island. Practiced Offense. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature your target player controls. Target creature gains... What? This might... No, it's a sorcery. It almost would be good enough for Feather. If it was an instant, it would be good enough for Feather. I need to put... Let's just do this. All right, and a commander card. We have Abstract Performance. Exile the top 4 cards. Let me pull my chat back up. Sorry, guys. I feel the justice will coming. Please take good care of yourself. I hope we can meet. I appreciate that, Ian. Yeah, there's a lot to say there, but yeah. Okay. I don't even know if I want to read all this. Okay. Exile the top 4 cards of your library in a face-down pile. Then exile the top 4 cards of your library in a face-up pile. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile in your graveyard. Look at the cards in the other pile. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest in your hand. I mean, it's cool. It's definitely a commander card. I could almost play it in my Joyra deck. That plays like all the huge, spells, but yeah, it's interesting. All right. Antiquities on the Loose. Create 2. Okay, sort of bad. All right, Swords to Plowshares. Right. Not silver foil, but we did. Is that so? I thought that's Swords to Plowshares. No, Angel's Grace. Duh, I knew that. There is no swords in this. That was in the last one. Angel's Grace, cool. Well, it's not quite silver foil yet. And a Vicious Rivalry. It's not bad. It's not great either, though. All right. Okay, next one's going to have silver foil. Here we go. Bottle bundle today from Scourge. Nice. Does that come with... Oh, yeah, thanks, Jared. Does that come with... my chat wasn't updating live, but... come with collectors, right? Bundles nowadays come with the collectors. All right. Oh, I swore the bundles came with like A collectors. Maybe that's just some of the old ones. Still cool though. I think bundles are always the best unless you're gonna like draft. There's not a great huge reason to buy like a box, buy it just for opening. Another Abrade. Okay, we got the silver foil, but then we have a non-silver foil. Bitter Triumph. Nice. Plains and an Exhibition Tidecaller. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 3 cards. If 5 or more mana. Sorry, I need to work on the glare for next time. Was spent to cast the spell, that player mills 10 cards instead. Oh, it's only a 1 mana creature, though. That's sort of not bad, actually. Okay, there's a place for that in a mill deck for sure. Forum Filibuster. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. When you do, return up to 1 target aura or equipment card from your graveyard. All right. Oh, we got a Planeswalker. Non-foil, but I think that's a mythic. Ral Zarek, Guest Lecturer. This is an alternate art, I think. Actually, I like that art quite a bit. Silver foils are so awesome. My favorite of the arts are Brain Freeze and Ad Nauseam. Yes. And those are worth a good penny, too. So, I actually do think I have a place for this Ral Zarek in a deck. Ooh, I got the Living End, the secret, or the English Strix. Secret Archive Secret Archive, yeah. Oh, this is cool looking. Not sure how special it is. I need to get rid of the tokens earlier. It always tricks me. This is like a. It looks special. Any special version of. I'm curious what kind of. I don't know what to call this special full art version, but whatever. Alternate art. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on each pest, bat, insect, snake, and spider you control. Pretty cool. I think this is better than the one from last set, at least. All right. We've only had 1 pack so far has had silver foil of 4 packs. So, ugh, I just bent that. Gotta be careful. Bent the art card. Hopefully we didn't bend the other card. Okay. Go through the commons. An uncommon's Daydream. Exile target creature you control. Then return to... They always keep being sorceries. I mean, it's not half bad in my Brago deck, though. Nah. Sorcery. Campus Composer. Snarl Song. Nah. Ooh. Is this Flame Riff? What is this? Burst Lightning. Oh, cool. I love Burst Lightning. Non-silver foil, but the Japanese Burst Lightning. Okay. No. Oh, we got a silver foil, but it is... suck. It's okay. We got one. That means it took a slot. The Bitter Triumph. The Bitter Triumph, I think, it looks like it's $15. But we got silver foil. I told myself I wouldn't be picky. And it is really cool. I just never used this card. Yeah, I'll have to find a place for it. I didn't realize the slot was here. I thought the slot was at the end. Can you get 2 silver foils in a pack? Anyways. Wait. Oh, can you? Because that's like not even in a rare spot. I doubt you can get 2 silver foils in a pack, but that'd sort of be cool. Does that mean that this pack definitely doesn't have a silver foil because it was in that slot there? Okay, Grave Researcher. This one is actually one I wanted of the prepared cards, I think. Put target creature card from your graveyard on the battlefield. Yeah, it's the Reanimate. So this definitely has some cool spots in my commander decks. You love Bitter Triumph? Yeah. I guess it's not the end of the world for the 3 life. A lot of times I think about having to discard a card, but 3 life, honestly, it should maybe fit my into my cube because I have the outlaw one in there right now, the culprit one or whatever. And there's Grave Researcher is great though. Definitely have a spot for Reanimate. Coercive Impetus. Gets +1/+1 and is goaded. Whenever enchanted creature attacks you, draw a card to lose a life. It's alright. Oh. I think we just got a special guest there. I don't know. Prismari, the Inspiration. It's pretty cool. Non-foil, but full art. Prismari. Mythic. This is the one that we didn't put in our gameplay video. I mean, this one and the Golgari one are just so good. But Culling the Weak. That's perfect. Well, here's the thing. Actually, in my Keurig deck, I I already have the Japanese promo one with the original art in foil. So I don't think this beats that one out. I'm sure I could find another spot for a Culling the Weak, though. For a long time, you could not get these in foil because there was only the promo. I eventually bought the promo, but Hardened Academic. This feels like it could potentially... Let's just read the card. Flying 2/1 haste. Discard a card. This creature gains lifelink. Okay, not too bad. Whenever one or more cards leaves your graveyard, put a counter on target creature you control. It could almost fit Feather. It looks super cool. I like when the foiling actually does something in the art. Nowadays, that's not a guarantee. Like if you look at, that one actually is pretty good. Yeah, like you look at this foil and it doesn't really do much with the art. But that's pretty cool. Okay, we got the silver foil though. It looks like, who knows if we can. Normally they have 2 slots for Silver Scroll. Oh, there are? Okay. You can get 2 slots in a pack. Nice. Good for decks that want to reanimate stuff by discarding your fatty. Yeah. Rare and common, uncommon. You can... That's what you're saying? The slot is rare and common, uncommon. Okay. So there's 2... Yeah, the watermarks are always amazing. That's one of my favorite things on foil. Since the original Ravnica, I loved that. Okay, I'm going to be a little kinder, maybe, so I don't hurt. There we go. Another art card. That's interesting. This just has a stamp. I have not seen that before. A Planeswalker stamp. Instead of the art, it's the Culling the Weak. It has just a Planeswalker stamp. That's not on all the art cards. Instead of their signature. That's interesting. Okay, some more commons. And our uncommons return up to 1 Proctor's Gaze, return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Search your library for a basic land card. It sort of almost would be good for my Cascade deck, my Wanderer. Eternal Wanderer? Why can I not even think of my commander's name? The Eternal Wanderer? The Teamer Wanderer. What's his name? What the heck? Seething Song on a creature. I've been wanting this guy. I think this will have a lot of options in some of my decks. I have my my Electro deck that I think this one will go well in. Yeah. The Eternal Wanderer. I can't get over that. It's the Eternal Wanderer, right? Has to be. Not the Eternal Wanderer. What's the Teamer 8 mana Cascade? Everything has haste. Is it the Eternal Wanderer? Whatever. I don't know. Okay. What is this? Oh, the box has a guaranteed rare silver foil. Are you sure? Does that mean I haven't gotten it yet? All right, right. Okay. This one is Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Maelstrom Wanderer. Yeah, not the Eternal Wanderer. Is there an Eternal something? Maelstrom Wanderer. Why could I not think of that? Anyways, hop to it. An island. Nice. Another hardened academic. The non-full art foil rare. Lorehold Archivist. I think this is one I was interested in. Exile target creature, artifact or creature. Oh no, this isn't. At the beginning of your upkeep, there are 3 or more artifact cards and or creature cards in your graveyard. I mean, I might actually have a place for this in one of my decks, but not. I don't have to. Silver Scroll Foil Pongify. Nice. I definitely need to get some of these for my Urza, my blinged out Urza deck. Great Hall of the Biblioplex, full art. We have a. Oh, this is the Cyclonic Rift. Nice. It's not full art. That would be sweet if that was one of my silver foils, but that's a pretty good hit, I think. Let's see if that's worth anything. I mean, a regular one is. Whoa, wait, whoa. 75 bones? Is this real? Man. Okay. That's pretty good so far for non-foils. Yeah, like $80. Okay. We got the Vampiric Tutor and the Cyclonic Rift so far. Those are pretty hot. And let's see what the last one is here. Wisdom of Ages. Return all instant and sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. I actually have a mono blue deck. I have a Leer, the one that your spells can't be countered. This one would probably fit well in. But this is a unexpected. It's sort of a. I wouldn't say it's a bad art. I mean, I know some people like cats, but it's not my favorite art of Cyclonic Rifts. But it's good value for me. Because my favorite art is. I'm trying to find the one. Yeah. I mean, the original art is pretty awesome. I think the one I have in my deck right now is the Double Masters one. But, alright. Okay. 2 silver foils, no rare silver foil. Who was it? Someone said that every box gets one. Who said that? Ian or Adokotoba said every box gets a rare. So I'm gonna hold you to that, Ian. No, I'm joking, but I'm hopeful. We're halfway through. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, halfway through. So this is the 7th pack. We've looked at 6 packs. So we're at 1 per 3 packs right now, which isn't. It's better than I thought it was when I first bought the box. So let's take that elemental food token. Excuse me. This pack is like a little warped. It's weird. Okay, the uncommons. A really expensive draw 2 stun something. Oh, okay. We got a uncommon legendary here. Whenever you cast a creature spell, Abigail becomes prepared. Okay. And then for 2, you can put a counter on something. We have some friends, the jalapeno poppers, that are really into popper commander, and so it has me looking at uncommon creatures a little more often. Shout out to them if you want to go check out their content. They're good guys. Growth curve, helping hand, another hop to it, and mountain. That mountain looks really cool. Oh, we finally got a land. Storm carved coast foil, regular foil, and a Nev the Practical Dean. Creatures you control with counters on them have trample. Whenever you cast your first spell with X, put X/1/1 counters on Nev. Merfolk Wizard. Steal the Show. Is that a... Yeah. I'm not even going to read it. I don't even care. This one I know. This is... You draw 3, put a land into play, right? What's it called? Oh, no, this is Bring to Light. I thought Bring to Light costs 4. Well, no, you want it to cost 5 so you can do it for 5. Okay, Bring to Light's pretty cool. I've been wanting to play... Well, the only downside is that you need to play it in a more than just a blue-green deck. And, oh, that's cool. This is Foil Full Art Lorehold the Historian. Is this one worth anything? Anyone want to look that up for me? Lorehold the Historian. I feel like this might... I have the original Lorehold foil in my Feather deck. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Yeah, this might fit because... I'm drawing a lot. My whole goal with my Feather is like cantrip. Well, that might not fit because who cares about miracling in my Feather deck? Yeah, that's a bummer. But I have to find some place for this because it is a really good looking card and pretty good. Brad played Lorehold on our gameplay video and did some really cool things. If you want to get an idea, check out his deck list. But yeah, some foil dragons are pretty cool. Okay. All right. Well, not silver foil, but a pretty good hit in my opinion. Last 2 packs, we've got a Cyclonic Rift and a foil dragon. So I'm happy with those. Let's get this out of the way. Token. Art card. Biblioplex Tomekeeper. Interesting. Okay, we have... That's worthless. Uncommon. Essence Knit Scholar. Interesting Golgari mana cost. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 black-green pest token. Whenever this token attacks, gain a life. Beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. It's actually not bad. It seems good and limited, at least. And another uncommon. Man, I thought I've looked through these cards more. I'm not recognizing this art on the Helping Hand. That's because I barely know the Helping Hand card. I don't think I've ever played this card. But it's not too bad. It's like it's a little bit worse version of the black one that lets you can cycle it. Yeah, it's worse because you can't cycle this one. Sleight of Hand foil, regular Mystical Archive. It's pretty cool looking. I don't have a foil one of these actually, I don't think. So that's pretty nice for me. For that slot. Mountain and Tragedy Feaster. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a permanent unless you gain life this turn. It's just one of those 4-mana big demons with a downside. It's not a bad spot. Slot. I feel like that type of creature and phoenixes are unique. Every once in a while you'll get a random phoenix in the set that and there's also like a random demon always in these sets that does something weird. Spirit of Resilience, a commander card. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a counter on this creature. Then you may have this creature become a copy of an artifact creature card from among those cards till end of turn. Slumbering Trudge. This creature enters with a number of stun counters on it. Doesn't this one have some kind of errata already? I was reading some comments on this. This creature enters with a number of stun counters on it equal to 3 minus X. If it entered with a stun counter on it, tap it. What did I read? I read that it's errataed to be like, and then it comes in and you have to tap it or something. I feel like it like always comes in tapped now, no matter what, or something. I don't know. And a big score. A rare is your big scores in the rare slot? Come on. It's a little bit of a sad thing. They upscaled big score and put it in the rare slot. I mean, I don't know. Alright, this better be a good slot to make up for this lackluster big score. That is not cool. Got the brainstorm prepared one. I'm not happy with you, big score. I'm not happy with you. This guy has brainstorm on the stick. Tap 2 untapped creatures you control. This creature becomes prepared. This is not half bad, actually. It's a really cheap creature. But all right, every other pack from now on is going to be silver foil. I mean, we got a pretty good box so far. We got Cyclonic Rift, Vampiric Tutor, and what was the other good one? Well, I guess the money-wise, the dragon. But we did get 2 uncommon silver foils so far. All right, let's get rid of this token. The Inkling. Render Speechless. Well, these are just the commons. Dissection Practice. Borrowed Knowledge. Stand up for yourself. I actually think it costs a little too much. Alright, do I know this card? This has to be Anatano Ruki? No. I can't read it. What is this card? 4 mana. Zombify. That's why I don't know it, because it's horrible. Alright, and we got a Sleight of Hand. We got a Mountain. Stirring Hope Singer. 1/3 Flying Lifelink. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature. Holy crap, this is definitely going in Feather. Dang. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Shoot, I did not realize how good of a bomb Feather was going to get in this creature. That's perfect. It's literally exactly what Feather ever wants, and my version of Feather too. Pest Rescuer. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you don't control a pest, get a pest. That's an interesting thing, like the Ophiomancer. If you'd gain life, gain that much +1. That's interesting. Oh, this is sort of a weird art, or a like version. Restoration Seminar. Return target non-land permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. What paradigm means you can do it over and over again, right? Like once per upkeep or whatever. It's like the old Epic, but you can still cast spells. Anybody sure on that one? Anyways, let me know if that's how Paradigm works. I'm pretty sure. Crackle with Power. I sort of needed one of these. I'm not necessarily wanting it in this slot, but this one's pretty cool. Yeah, I have my Electro deck that has needed one of these, and our local game store didn't have any in stock, so this one's a pretty cool version. And yeah, and a Murmuring Mystic. We got a what do you call it? A special guest finally. Murmuring Mystic. I doubt it's worth a ton, but it's cool. Oh, it even has the old art on that? I did not notice that. That is pretty cool. It shows the old art, like the teacher showing the old version of it. That's pretty smart. I like that. Let me know if it's randomly worth something. I mean, I guess I'll look it up later, but just curious if... Oof, it's sort of hard to get that in here without... There we go. Got a special guest. I think I'll put the Crackle with Power. I think it's worth 10, 15 bucks if I remember right, a foil one. Could be worth just $1 or something. All right, down to 3 packs. Last 3 packs are going to have silver foils. Although I think I said that about the last 4 packs. Okay, here we go. All right. Commons. Fractal Tender. What is Increment? Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana you spent is greater than this creature's power or toughness. Okay. Just like a better evolve. The beginning of each end step. Or wait, is that the same as evolve? Oh, it's cast a spell. It's not power and toughness. Why was I thinking that? Interesting. There's a different kind. Beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on this creature this turn, create a green. Ooh, I like that. I love anytime it's each end step, not the end of your end step. That could be fairly good, actually. It's a little expensive, but there's maybe a spot for that in some decks. Diary of Dreams. This slot is probably the one of those oh no, this is not what I thought it was. Requisition Raid. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. It's a spree card, but oh yeah, but it is from Outlaws of Underjection. Okay. All right. Monstrous Rage. Yeah. This could go in my cube. It's cooler than the current version I have in there. All right. Well, I'll put it up here. Swamp. Into a Moment of Reckoning. Not a bad card. Not a great card. We got Primo the Unbounded. Non-foil full art. It's cool. It's cool, Wolf. Aziza Mage Tower Captain full art non-foil. Whenever you cast instant or sorcery spell, you may tap 3 untapped creatures you control. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets. That honestly could almost fit into Feather. Brain Freeze. If only it was the other version. Still cool. Cool looking. I think what it is I don't love the yellow of these. I think it's cool, but it sort of sticks out a little too much. I think that's why it's not my favorite. But Maelstrom Artisan. Destroy target non-basic land. Full art foil. Dang. Well, down the last 2 packs. Hopefully we get at least a rare silver foil, right? Because otherwise you got my hopes up, Ian. No, it's okay. It's okay if we don't. Actually, I like this guy. Rampant growth on a creature. Some commons. Quandrix Charm. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Destroy an enchantment. Yeah, I didn't really care for this one. Emil Vastland's Roamer. Creatures you control with +1 counters on them have trample. And you can make a fractal. It's pretty cool. Kirill History Buff. Has Pack a Punch on it. Alright. Oh, it's an uncommon. And Spell Pierce. We got a Giant Growth. A regular Mystical Archive foil. A Plains. The Dawning Archaic. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. Okay. Reach 7/7. Whenever this Dawning Archaic attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell will be put into graveyard, exile it instead. Dang, this is going right into my original Joyra deck with all the Eldrazi's and everything. I have like a bunch of extra turns, and this is perfect for that. Get it out for cheap, either for having a lot of spells in the graveyard or, you know, just because of Joyra, and then get some free stuff later. So, all right. Okay. They're getting all unruly here at the end. Immoral Bargain. Petrified Hamlet. This is... Dang. Well, we have one more pack to maybe get a silver foil. This one is Shamanic Revelation. Got a Dreamroot Cascade full art foil. That's really actually cool looking. That can go in one of my decks. All right, last pack, silver foil. Here we go. Has to be one, right? We only got 2. I thought we were on like a pretty good run, but we need one pretty bad right here. This has to be the rare one, right? Seize the Spoils. The Witherbloom Charm. Another Abrade. This is the Abrade box. This is the regular Abrade, or regular Mystical Archive. Royal Treatment. Here we go. Forest. Sky Coach Conductor. Exile target non-pilot creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Dang, this almost could fit in Brago. Let's see. It's a 3 mana, flash in, 2/3 flying vigilance, comes in prepared, and then you can immediately blink something else later. Yeah, this probably fits. It's going to be hard to find a spot, but it's actually pretty good. Because anytime I blink it with Brago in the future, it resets itself to being prepared. And then I can blink on command again. It's pretty good. All right. Umbral Expanse. I didn't know this was even in the set, that they got the black-white cycle land in here. I have a lot of decks that now I need to get this for. Wild Growth Archaic. It's coming up soon, isn't it? Silver foil. That's not silver foil. Dismember's cool though. Was that the spot? I think that was the spot. Wait, we did! Okay. We did it, you guys. You were correct, Ian, at the very last card. And it's obviously the Crackling with Power. We got 2 Crackling with Powers. One of them is silver foil. Okay. I feel good. Even though it's not, a lottery hit, hitting some kind of $700 brain freeze or something, we at least got a rare silver foil. And it's actually really cool art. Dang, now we have 2 of them that we needed. Let's see if we got. I'm guessing it is $40. Let's go with $40. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, are you kidding me? 20 cents off, $40.20? Let's double check. Oh, it's actually a little more, maybe. I mean, the market price has it at $90, but there's one copy at 45. There's 3 copies, 2 copies at 45. The next copy is at 65, and the next copy after that's at 90. So, and I'm not gonna sell it. So, but yeah, this could be a $100-ish card after, or at least like an $80 card. It's looking like. So not a bad box overall. If we look at value and cool cards, we got. Let's see all the. We got 3. So, I mean, that's a little bit on the lower end, but it's still cool with the silver foils. Not like I didn't hit any of my grails or anything, but we still got some cool ones. We did get the first pack. I knew that this was going to be the case. When my first pack was a Vampiric Tutor, which is a super cool hit, I was like, the rest of the box is not going to be as good. But we got a Cyclonic Rift, a Vampiric Tutor, 3 silver foils, and we did get the Murmuring Mystic. I need to check on that one. I guess I can do that real quick right now. Let's see if that randomly is worth something. Murmuring. Well, I can't spell it right. 2 M's, 2 U's. Murmuring. $3. $5 foil. So cool. And I mean, we got Veil of Summer. It's a good CDH foil. I got a couple things for the cube. But yeah. Not too half bad. I mean, there's other value too, right? But it's always fun getting the cool cards. And yeah, Crackling with Power is definitely one I didn't expect, but could be worse maybe. I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, fun. It's always open. I mean, you don't open packs for like money, right? Like it is a fun thing to do. Get some dopamine pumping through my veins instead of cortisol for just a brief moment of my life. And yeah, I knew you couldn't resist, and you're exactly right. Like I have started only buying 1 box per new set. Sometimes not even. I barely ended up getting an Avatar box. I almost didn't get an Avatar box, but I was the same this way, just because. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Financially, I shouldn't be spending my money on random things right now, but I love these Japanese art cards. So now we got to trade for them, and I always will trade for as many as I can, and then buy the cheap ones, and then save up for one or two of the expensive ones. Although I never ended up getting the really cool Ristic study and things like that. But anyways, it's all good. But need more Strixhaven videos? Yeah, I don't. Maybe we might be able to get one in. Right now we're doing mainly like one video per new set, and then if everyone's super pumped about the set, maybe we will do more. The rest of the videos are going to be more just like us playing our our non-set focused decks, just because we never get to do that on the channel anymore, because it's always just there's so many new sets that it feels like we only ever do new set stuff. Oh, you just got here, the big pull. So the last pull of the night was the silver foil rare, which was Crackle of Power. It's around $40 to $80. The first pull of the box was Vampiric Tutor. So the first and last pulls were the best. We also got this Iconic Rift, a couple other Braid and Bitter Triumph silver foils, and then a couple other things, and then some other fun cards. Let's see if we got any other sweet ones. Yeah, we got 3 silver foils overall, but only 1 rare. So it does feel like this probably, if you compare it to other boxes, was probably a little bit lower. Value-wise, getting this Iconic Rift and the Vampiric Tutor actually probably made this like an okay box, even though they're not silver foil. These are like some of the higher non-foil cards you can get. But yeah. Personally, I end up trading or selling most of the non-foils. So I like anytime you see like all of these, I'm probably gonna trade or buy list or sell. Unless I really need it for a deck, like I can't find a foil version. Like I'll probably keep the Ralzeric, and most likely I'll keep these as well. Just because even though they're not foil, it's the cool version. See, that's the thing about this box compared to the other Strixhaven, is you either get you get these cards still, but the only foil version is a silver foil. That's a little bit of a bummer for me as a player, because I do feel like there was more foil versions of these, even though they weren't like the best card, but it's all good. And then we got some foil rares that were not too bad. What's your favorite commander in this set? Probably, that's a good question. I think I really like this one, actually. I think Brad on our gameplay video did an amazing job with this deck, and this type of commander is what I love to see from a set. And so what it means is it's like a fairly good costed creature, a 5/5 flying haste for 5. So that's like not too expensive. It does a cool thing. Makes everything, and it really, what I love to see in a commander is it makes it so that other cards are that you wouldn't usually be able to play are more playable, right? So like Brad did in his deck, there's a ton of big mana white and red spells that like you almost never see played in commander, and this guy unlocks them, so to speak, right? And so that's what I really love to see. I think, unfortunately, the red-blue one does that a little bit too, but in a way that is already super done a ton. So, like, Prismari makes it so that all your instants and sorceries have Storm, which is just broken and great. But, like, that's been done a ton of times. So it's not, like, super exciting for me. Whereas, same with the one I played, the Cascade. It's just Cascade. It wasn't anything special. trying to think of any other of the non dragons. I do think the what's the black green school? Witherbloom. I thought the Witherbloom dragon, Witherbloom, I think that's his name or whatever, is amazing. I think it's too good though. Um, I guess it's not too good. It's too good in the sense that like this one again, unlocks a lot of stuff. The Witherbloom one has just too many things that you can just break it super easy. That if you decide not to do that, you're just playing a lower power deck just because you want to, and that is not as exciting as something like this. So, if I had to build a deck to keep, I would do something like this. I probably wouldn't do it exactly like Brad. Brad did it where he was really trying to maximize the ability to cast spells every single turn, every player's turn, which I think is probably the best way of doing it, like the most powerful way. I think I would play more into the miracle side of things, where I'm trying to like stack the top of the deck with certain cards that are like gonna just do exactly what I want. But I would still do some of the latter where you're trying to play it, each turn. But yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Well, let me look at the rest of the spoiler real quick. I do feel like there was one or two other commanders that were pretty cool. Is there any that stuck out to you guys? Quandrich Dragon? Yeah, I played that one. I ended up winning in our gameplay. Spoiler. But what more of your actual deck may we see in the future? Abdul, I just finished doing a prismatic deck challenge. So I now have a deck of every color combination that I've like really built and put thought into. And so I'm going to try and play more of those decks because they're my favorite. Like, for example, the Grixis deck I have is Kefka, and it is like I tried to make a discard version instead of the standard Nekusar version. I really wanted to play into Megrim, if you remember Megrim, the card. So I play some of these old cool cards, and I got one of each of the Nightscapes in here, which is pretty fun. See if I can find. I have like old cards like Bottomless Pit and Greel the Mind Raker. But yeah, here's all the Nightscapes, which are fun. The Nightscape Master, Battle Mage, and Familiar, which are pretty cool. But yeah, basically just Megrim or Liliana's Caress is like the main goal. Is like I want to kill you, making you discard, not just making you draw, which Nekuzar does. So, but anyways, not every deck, and they're all different power levels of all the different decks that I built. So this one is a 2 on the power level thing. But oh yeah, Kefka's not original, but the way I built it, I think, is pretty original. And I did it partially because I wanted to build a non-Nekuzar Megrim version of the deck. So I wanted to win with like Megrims and Liliana's Caress. So like I'm filling up your hand a ton, and my goal is to make it so that you die on the second side of a wheel, not the front side of a wheel. So, I mean, it's not like the most original thing ever, but I do feel like I play a lot of cards you wouldn't typically see. Like, my version is making it so that I bounce all your creatures and then wheeling them away. So that's like my removal. I have all the bounce spells like Devastation Tide, Aether Spouts, Aetherize. So, but yeah. I did have Turok in here for a second, but it only is one player, and so I ended up taking it out because um, it just didn't quite do enough compared to a lot of the other spells where they affect all the players. I wanted to play it because I love the old border art version, which is really cool. But yeah, you're right, South Kaiser. The red white put on top is hard to make work. That is totally true, but that's like unfortunately what I'm not maybe unfortunately, but what I'm loving about Commander more these days is like choosing what I want to do and then like making it work rather than finding something that's like real the best way of doing that thing, right? If that, if that makes sense, like yeah. Anyways, I'm just making more work for myself. But the reason I'm doing that is it's more fun to play those decks and not have to worry about winning. I still want to try and win, but if I can do my thing, as people call it, yeah, that's just what it is. Is doing my thing has become more important for me lately. Where and what that thing is, and depending on the deck, can be pretty crazy. So I want to build Micah because there's so much red artifact generation potential. I don't know if I know Micah. Is that from the new set? Micah. It is. Pay 3 life, or ward 3 life. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sacrifice an artifact. Oh yeah, I think I pulled one of these. That is pretty cool. See, I think mono-colored commanders are actually like that a lot too. Like a lot of times playing the multicolor version of a certain effect is way more powerful because you have access to all the colors. So that's why like just playing partners sometimes is way better. But with a card like Micah, you're doing a specific thing whenever you cast instant sorcery, sack an artifact, copy spells, but you only can do it in the red version, right? The red cards. And so I think that's pretty cool. Show me one more deck? Sure. I have a bunch of them, but here's the other one that's handy. This is, I just talked about partners, knocked on partners, but when you do the prismatic challenge, the 4 color combinations, there's not a lot of options. So let me move a few cards here. But yeah, for anyone else, that's it for like opening cards. I'll just chat with you guys for a little bit here. But yeah, thanks for watching in regards to the card opening. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully do some deck techs on all my decks and maybe even do a big like a 5-10 minute video about the prismatic challenge. So we'll see if I can here in the next month or two or whatever. Let me move just a couple things. Just for my mind's sake, I'm gonna throw some of this trash away real quick. Another one of the decks for you, Abdul. An 8.5 tails. I love 8.5 tails. I have that in my cube. So this version of the deck is Silas Rand and Bruce Tarl. So that might seem random, but they are relative to what the deck's purpose is, right? So this deck, how can I succinctly explain it, is big artifacts or big colorless creatures, mainly big artifact creatures, and no Eldrazi's. So it's got to be clear on that. Also, it's an artifact-based deck, so it doesn't have Darksteel or Blightsteel Colossus. It's almost Golem tribal, but not really. And the goal with the deck is to chuck really big. Here's a couple of the themes of the deck. Let me get out some of the themes real quick. I'll explain them. Well, I can just do it as I go through. So yeah, so I have both Urza and Mishra in here as like, and it's sort of on theme for them because it's like big artifact creatures, the Brothers War kind of stuff. So I'm playing, big artifact. It's, a huge artifact creature deck, and a lot of like cheating them in from the graveyard or from your hand. But then some of the favorite cards I have. This one has like Memory Jar in it. There is one combo in the deck. Let's see, I can pull that out. So here's the Urza and the Meekstone. I just put Krang in. I don't know how he's going to work. But the basic of the deck is to cheat these big idiots in, these big, huge guys that you wouldn't usually see being played. This is my favorite thing that I want to do. There's like Portal of Phyrexia. There's Bosch. Okay, so wait, where's Mishra? Did I pass Mishra? It's not partner swap, okay? I mean, sort of is. You're sort of a harsh dude, Abdul. There's some pretty harsh comments here. But let's see here. There he is. There's Mishra. Okay. We have Mishra and the Phyrexian Dragon Engine and Urza and the Mightstone, which is cool. It would be cool if I could do these as partners. Actually, I didn't think about that. Maybe I'll ask that to people when I play, if I could run them as partners. We'll have to see if it would be a little bit too maybe good, but like in that, if I could run these as partners, they would be the partners. But anyways, this is, and the reason that I have to do this is because I needed to do a deck that had no green, right? And this was the one I decided to do. So, but these guys do end up going well with the deck because Bruce Tarl makes these big, huge golems get double strike and lifelink, which is awesome. And then Silas Wren lets me get stuff back from the graveyard. So they still work, but I wish there was more options for the 4 colors. So anyways, so the goal is a couple of things. I guess it's Mishra Urza, which is awesome. And then also Bosch, and then the better version, which is Imskir, which the dream someday is to chuck a Draco at somebody's face. So Draco does always cost at least 2 because I don't have green in the deck. But yeah, the dream is to take Bosch or Imskir and attack someone for 9 and then chuck Draco. Just in my mind, the imagery is so cool of just this huge golem grabbing this dragon and chucking at somebody's face. Like, see, that's what I love about these lower power decks like that. So, and then again, there's a bunch of other big golems that you wouldn't see otherwise, which are fun to, either reanimate, like this sort of self-reanimates, this self-reanimates. Oh, and the other combo in the deck is Sharoom with, it's a sort of a boring combo, but I did decide to every once in a while put a combo in to like end the game. But the combos that end the game, I want them to like work with the deck, even if I don't get the combo. So there's like no Thassa's Oracles just randomly in these decks, like unless that's what the deck's about. But it's that oh, the combo isn't with Sharoom. I kept thinking it was with Sharoom. It's with Thopter Assembly and the extra turn thing. Or is it? Forget what it's called. Black, blue, sack of 5 or 6 artifacts, get an extra turn, times Eve. So yeah, there's that combo. But I don't think I've ever done the combo but I've used Time Sieve like the fair way before. Sack 5 artifacts, take an extra turn just so that I can get like an extra combat with my big golems. But yeah, and there's a bunch of things that get, sack like a talisman or a land and get back a huge golem with like some of the scrap wielders or where's the goblin, the original one. Where is he? Oh, I love Scarecrow in here. Do I not have it in here for some reason? There's a freaking red goblin, one red, or I think isn't it one red, sack an artifact, get an artifact back? I have to have it in here. Goblin Welder, yeah. Choose target artifact or target player controls, add target artifact card in player's graveyard. If both are blah, 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 blah. But you sack one and play, get one back. So that's the best one. But do that with the big, huge, especially if with Draco. This has never happened, probably never will. But if I could chuck Draco attack with Draco, chuck it at someone's face, Goblin Welder it back, chuck it at someone else's face for 16. That's the dream. So, but yeah, those are some of the fun decks, and I have different power levels from 2 to 4. Most of the decks are between 2 and 4. I didn't include any CDH decks in the 32 decks because for different reasons. Also, I didn't include any tribal decks because I feel like both of those types of decks really limit you on what you can do. With CDH, you just have to play the best cards, so there's not that much like creative license. And with tribal, it's the same way. You have to just play, or kindred, you have to play like just a bunch of that cards and a bunch of like banners and coat of arms and kind of things a lot of times. So I didn't include those. So I do have a few other extra decks on top of it, but DT4D. I feel like I know who that is, but not by the acronym. Who's DT4D? One more time. What's their full? I'm sure if maybe I thought about it, but yeah. But anyways, I think I'm gonna call it there. It's a pleasure. I'm glad we got to open. Glad we got to chat with some of you. I am going to try and just do more random streams, going through decks anytime I'm like upgrading decks and things. So check it. Watch out for the notifications if they notify you, YouTube and Twitch. And if you're watching in the future, because some people do watch in the future on YouTube, consider subscribing so we can get to 20,000. Still trying to do that. But yeah, do you have one more thought, Abdul? But yeah, thanks to everybody else for chilling. And can we brainstorm a card I'm trying to put somewhere? Sure. What do you got? Oh, interesting. It's like behind. The stream is like behind by like 10 seconds. Let me do this. See how long that takes to see that. Oh, it's not that bad. It's only like 5 seconds. Flage the Giant. I know that one. That's the white-red one, right? Let's see here. Flage the Giant. Is that how you spell it? Okay. Flage. I don't know how to pronounce it. Flage. Titan of Furies. Titan of Furies. Fire's Fury. Wow. When it enters, sacrifice it unless it escapes. Whenever Flage enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Exile 5 other cards. So you're lightning helixing. I mean, what is your like? What are you looking to do? And for me, I feel like sometimes some commanders just fit so, or some cards fit so well in other decks that it's hard not to just want to default to that. So if you really want to do this as the commander, I feel like you have to have a little bit of a vision of what you want for it. Otherwise, I can think of a number of ones that this goes really well in the deck, but as a commander, I feel like escape is just doesn't fit with the commander super well, right? Although nowadays there's a lot more of that like self mill in red and white. Maybe you're trying to do some lore hold stuff. Maybe if you try to do a bunch of lore hold things where like there's a bunch of those lore hold cards that if they're exiled from, you know, like you exile them from the graveyard or whatever, you get some other effect. And so if you like, you know, just use, that's how I would initially build it personally. I would use the escape side of Flage to be like the main focus. And so your goal is to like self mill, exile stuff, and get value from it. And then, you know, you get to shoot things here and there. I personally would play like a lot of the things that, like Well of Lost Dreams. You know, you gain 3 life, draw 3 cards. Atali. I just feel like the only downside of this one is the lightning helix side of things is not like crazy good in commander compared to like modern, which it was made for. Um, I wonder. I wonder if there's a number of things in like white that can make it so that you can't sacrifice things. That might be sort of good in the deck, but I don't know. The goal of this kind of creature is to like cast it over and over, right? So yeah, I think I would play like self mill and like try and you definitely want to play like Underworld Breach. Yeah, having the escape cost be 2 red, 2 white is pretty not rough, but sort of hard. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. One thing you could do maybe is do an extra attack step deck. So like the goal is play like Sun Titan. Sun Titan with this is sort of cool. Um, but like Sun Titan and Flage and like a sack outlet, you could just like, you know, that's maybe what I would do. If I had to build this, I would play extra attacks, and like not worry about the escape for the reanimation. I would find other ways to reanimate and just trying to activate the lightning helix side of things as often as I could. So make sure it has haste so it can attack immediately. You get it, so it comes in, you get to shoot something, you attack with haste, it gets to do something, you get extra attacks, it lightning helixes, you sack it to Phyrexian Altar, and then, you know, there's that spell that just came out, for example, that white version. There's a 1 white mana spell from that puts a creature with three or less mana back into play. You play all those kind of things and just get it back into play and attacking. And you could play a bunch of the blink stuff too. Oh, well, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Man, this just works so well with Sun Titan. Because every time it dies, you just get it back and then it dies. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about blinking it and stuff, but still, blinking it isn't too bad either because I guess that's what I would do is I would play extra combats, haste. Yeah, well, yeah, I would do extra combats though. I think if you can get this out, escaped. So, for example, if you like early game, third turn, second turn, fourth turn, whatever, play Flage, kill one of their best cheap creatures, and then like fourth, fifth turn, get out Sun Titan or some other, or Inferno Titan, or there's a bunch of other good red and white creatures, and then get and then self mill a little bit, play like what's that 2 mana artifact every time something's untapped, mill. That seems like it would be an all-star. And then mnemonic something. Yeah, so sorry maybe if I wasn't more help, but I do think this is cool. Like if someone sits down with a Flage deck, um I'll be pumped because I think it's definitely unique, which is I'm always super pumped about. So, anyways, it's a pleasure. Thanks everybody for what. Oh, one more thing from you, Abdul. Last thing. I'm gonna jump off. Oh yeah, I was gonna show. Well, I think most people have jumped off, but um, make sure if you see us at MagicCon Vegas, we do have some Soul Ring promos, so check those out at the end of the week. So that's it. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks, Abdul. It was a pleasure, everybody. Abdul, Scourge of Streams, South Kaiser, Ramo, Dokoba, or Ian. Thanks for hanging out. Pleasure. Have a great week, and yeah, hopeful to see everybody at Vegas. Cross my fingers that I can make it there. All right.